So picture this, you've been asked to bring a dessert to your next family's holiday gathering. Maybe the request has been pumpkin pie, but you're not a baker. Today's recipe is just for you. We're making pumpkin pie a la easy, and I'm showing you how to make a smaller batch. So if you only need enough for a small family or for another couple, you'll have just the right amount. So this is the square baker. It comes with a lid. You can also make it in the stoneware. If you want to make the full batch, you're going to use this one here. These are metal pans that are fantastic for carrying. You normally aren't going to open it when you're not on a counter. Here we go. Pop off. Oh my gosh, see how tight it fits? There we go. So it's a nice quality heavy gauge pan with a lid that stays on. So let's go ahead and make this together. You can also bake it in the stoneware bar pan, which is what it was first designed for. I'm just doing the half batch option today. So in the base, I have melted butter with brown sugar, chopped pecans, and some flour and quick oats. Mix it all up, press it in there, and bake it for 15 minutes at 350. So that's where you need to start as your first step. To flatten out the mixture, here's a trick for you. Just run this under some water and then tap it in there, and that dough will spread out, and you'll just need to keep wetting it, but otherwise it'll kind of stick on there. Instead of using your hands, just use that, and wetting it is the trick. Okay, so let's get the pumpkin pie filling done, and this is the a la easy part that you are going to love, because you can use canned pumpkin if you choose to. If you saw the reel that I posted a couple of days ago though, I'm using a real pumpkin that I cooked and froze. I actually didn't freeze this one because I knew I'd need it today, but it's been strained a bit, so it's kind of solid, which is what it calls for. So you'll start first with adding some eggs to your bowl, and we're gonna just add 2 in there because we're doing the half batch. And you want to whisk them up a little bit. You can do it by hand, or you can use your mixer if you like. Just give it a little whirl. This is part of the cupcake baking set. I call it my sunshine bowl. I love it. And then we'll add our pumpkin next. I love how simple this is. So when you have your pumpkin already portioned out in 2-cup increments, it makes it really easy to add. So you just put it in there and just squeeze like it is a decorating bag, and it comes all out like that. If you want to use the canned kind, you absolutely can. There we go. Perfect. All right, now most pumpkin pie recipes call for vanilla and sugar and evaporated milk. The a la easy part is sweetened condensed milk. It takes the place of all 3 of those ingredients. So if you're looking at this and it looks pretty different from a traditional pumpkin pie recipe, that's why. So to attach your can opener, put it on straight on between you and the can. It's just a straight line. Give it a turn, and you'll feel a click when you've gone all the way around. There it goes. Reverse the direction, press the button here to close the pliers here, and it comes up just like that. Now, why is a smooth edge can opener fantastic, especially for something gooey like this? Because you're gonna need to scrape out your can. And if you've got a sharp edge here, you're gonna make cut marks on the outsides of all of your scrapers. And you don't wanna wreck your scrapers. So you can see I'm putting it right in there. I have no fear of anything sharp, and I'm gonna get every last bit out of the sweetened condensed milk can, just like that. Okay, another quick tip for you. The recipe calls for cinnamon, ginger, and nutmeg. Anytime you have a recipe that calls for all 3 of those, you can substitute cinnamon plus spice blend. This is delicious. It's only available during the holiday season. And so you're just gonna do the math of how much did it take for those 3 ingredients, and add it all up, and that's how much you need here. So because I'm doing a half batch, I need 1 3/4 teaspoons. This smells amazing. I wish you could smell it. There we go. I love this. And the difference between Cinnamon Plus and Korenji cinnamon, the Korenji cinnamon is just the Korenji cinnamon. The Cinnamon Plus has Korenji cinnamon, nutmeg, allspice, cloves, ginger, and orange peel. So that's the difference. And then we need half a teaspoon of sea salt. So I'll just add that. I'm gonna do a scant half teaspoon. And that is our pumpkin pie mix. So if you're baking with kids, I would recommend that maybe you get the crust done in your baker, and then when the kids are all with you, let them do this part. It can become a math lesson because it's a recipe that's dividing everything in half. So that part could be fun. And then everybody will love mixing. It smells so good, just like pumpkin pie. Perfect. That's it. Now let's go ahead and pour it into our pan. It's not too hot to the touch anymore. Okay, how is that for easy? So we got a little pour spout here, pour it right over the top. This is gonna bake at 350 for about half an hour. Just keep an eye on it. If it looks like it's overly done, pull it out. But typically pumpkin pie solidifies a little bit more as it cools. So typically with pumpkin pie, it's okay to have a little jiggle in it when it comes out because it will get firm as it cools. Once it's done and cooled, then you're gonna cut it into squares. And I recommend the mini nylon serving spatula. These pans can scratch, so our famous mini serving spatula that is in everybody's kitchen is not recommended to use here unless you don't mind scratch marks. So instead, use the nylon one when you are ready to serve. I'm gonna pop this in. Are you gonna put a scoop of ice cream on yours or some Cool Whip or whipped cream? What are you gonna top this with? I'll post the recipe in the comments. I hope you'll give it a try. Now that it's cooled, I'm gonna go ahead and slice it up. I like to use this side of my scoop and spread because I don't wanna scratch the base. You wanna use a non-metal cutting tool and you'll feel that crust as you move to the bottom. Then take your nylon spatula. You might double check that gone all the way through. That first one is always a little tricky, right? And there we go. You see that crust? It's like an oatmeal cookie crust. So here is the edge and you can see the bottom. I hope you'll give this a try.